going on, people? I hope you all are fine. Yes, this is uh, American Arawaks Nation channel, live and direct. Um, the tribal members have been busy working on projects, personal issues, and all of that. So this is why we are not so much online as we should be, but nevertheless, we are still here, and we are, still in the, um, you know, still in the fight. I shouldn't even say fight. More of standing on our identity, so to speak. We still function as tribal people. Um, we are acknowledged as tribal people across the board. I mean, in many instances, we have not everybody is astute as far as knowing the laws. So sometimes we have slight issues with people who don't recognize the law, but we always do our best to correct the narrative, But yeah, we're still here. So shout out to all the subscribers. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Of putting out the information so our children and the younger ones can have access to it through these mediums. But yeah, the Dark Man X channel, of course, brother Dark Man X, he's doing good. I have several other tribal members doing well, they are doing good. But yeah, we are here. A lot been going on, lately, as far as with uh, the whole situation going on with political stuff going on. But if you know who you are and you accept who you are and you stand on who you are, there shouldn't be an issue. You have to. This is a time when you have to really stand. The time has come. The time is here. This is the now we've been talking about from years ago. We are now currently in that dispensation. So when we were talking about identity and all these things, how important it is as indigenous people, aboriginal people, across the West Indies, across the Americas, across, you name it, even the entire world, our earth plane. For years we've been advocating for our rights, as indigenous or tribal people. But here we are now, fast forward. What's going on, people? Freeman, what's going on? Heina, what's going on? Shout out to everybody, man, on the live here. Thanks for joining. But this is a time now when you have to just stand on who you are. Your identity is very important. It is important, and if you don't know that it's important, then ignorance of the law is no excuse. And with your identity comes law. So you have to stand on law when it comes to your identity. Freedom Media, big up yourself. Oh, brother, what go on? Yeah, man, we just give a shout out to the subscribers and things that they know we're still here, We are all here, we're still here as tribal people. We represent the tribe, we represent the Arawaks Nation. We function as such when we are dealing with anything. Whether we're trying to seek, work so we can better our lives and provide for our families. We stand on our identity. We take it very serious. And a lot of people across the Americas, or a lot, I should say mostly North America region, where it's now known as U.S. United States. Um, the people on this side, that they're getting it, they're getting the awareness, and they're figuring it out that when what we were talking about years ago, it's actually fact and true. Yeah, you understand people. So I want you to all just, if you're tribal, whether you're Arawak, whether you are Choctaw, whether you are whatever tribe you represent, whatever tribe lineage you're from, just stand on it, okay? And we are a people, a nation, a tribe of people, mostly from the Western Hemisphere, the West Indian people, of several different tribes known as several different tribes, including but not limited to Caribs, Lucayans. You know what I'm saying? Arawak is just it's just a wide term that covers many different tribes. Arawak is actually the language, of these tribes that unify these tribes together. Um, of course, through colonization and such, we have lost the original names and stuff. But however, the names that we currently use, it's just as important because it's a benchmark to go back to that point where we got assimilated. That is why it's very important to use the names, or don't go be in a rush to go and say you're going to change your name because you think it's not the original name. Actually, there's a lot of integration that went on during those times. A lot of people left their homeland and came over this side, and they married into our tribes. So this hence why we have these names. So we can't say we're gonna get up and abandon these names because it's a benchmark. It's actually a marker to say at that point when that man or that woman come across here, right? They at that point they're married into our families or our tribes or our clans. Hence why we still retain these names and we still use these names to do business. Because of course, through colonization, we weren't allowed to speak our language or our original tongue. So we were forced to assimilate. So hence the names we're using is assimilation. So, it is important to comprehend that, and don't let nobody mislead you and take you down the wrong path. You have a mind of your own. Everybody has intuition, everybody can think for themselves. I am just here to help fulfill my purpose in helping ones to realize they already have it within themselves. So this is why that the nation published these books, these volumes 1 and 2 of the Just Tools of a Free Man material. Is to assist people into navigating through these commercial affairs, because everything is all commercial. Once you come to names or numbers or these stuff, it's all about contract and commercial and how to apply yourself in regards to doing business. Because honestly, a lot of what went on was through taking over the trade routes, our ancestral trade routes. So when the foreigners come over here and they assimilate with us, the reason why it was so adamant for them to say, all right, use their religion, use their names, so they can take over our trade routes. So this is why we are in the situation we are in today as far as financial. Most of our people, we have financial issues. It stemmed from those times where how we used to do business with each other as tribal people, how we used to travel. They use the military or their foreign military and come over here and create imaginary borders and stuff just to take over the business aspect of our lives. You know, um, they do not use our customs as far as how we do business. They use their type of customs, which is taxation, and this is why they create treaties so our people could be able to do business just the same and not be taxed through their customs. That's why you have things called customs and border protection, because that's their customs. That's not our customs. Yeah, you understand? So they use their customs and assimilate our way of life within their customs and have us subject to identity theft or identity misidentifying our people as colors. Back in the day, colors only meant your status. Like, for example, black meant you were a poor, you were destitute, or you were a pauper, and white meant you're wealthy, or nobleman, or noble people. That's all it really meant. But over time, it changed to skin color. Through the fraternal people, fraternal orders and stuff, through their secret societies and all these things, they have implement ways to use um, word wordplay or word magic to remove us from our identity. And this is how we end up into indentured servitude, involuntary servitude, and all these things are voluntary servitude, meaning you volunteer to be a slave and don't even know you do it through contractual agreements. But yes, if you stand on your identity, as far as the SF 181 form that specify what an American Indian is, and it break down what it is, and if you read it carefully, you will understand that if you even have an affiliation with your tribal your ancestry, that is just enough um to identify as such, and by law identifying as who you are is protected in law. So don't be afraid to express who you are. Don't be afraid to stand on it and do business as who you are, because when you do business as your correct status or correct identity, for example, Indians not tax. All right, I'm gonna break this down. All right, check this out. There's a difference between federal recognized tribes and Indians not tax, because Indians not tax predates federal recognized tribes. Why I say this? According to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3, it said excluding Indians not tax. No, Indians not tax in this manner, when expressed, meant status. Your status as far as not being on subject to the colonizing entity. So when you retain that you are Indians not tax, it predates even colonialism. So it's very important to distinguish what federal recognized is apart from Indians not tax. So when you go federal recognized now you're under federal construct, federal jurisdiction. You have to jump, if they say jump, if you have to jump how high, if they say jump, you say how high, and that's it. And this is where the benefits thing come in and all that stuff. But remember, if you're taking a benefit from these people in terms of you are asking for a benefit, it comes with consequences. But however, you already have the benefit of your estate. You don't have to go and re-sign something and go trap yourself again. Your estate is already there, established, to when they create that birth certificate document. So that estate is held in trust already. So express it as this. If you express yourself as a sole beneficiary of that estate, then you are entitled to benefits like your rights. These are the benefits I'm talking about. Benefits of your rights to be protected via the estate, because the estate is the indemnity bond. Okay? So, another thing I wanted to touch on, the J Treaty, okay? They have went and revised the J Treaty, and when they revise the J Treaty, they exclude the Indians as far as Indians not taxed, and just specify that they're only Canadian-born Indians are qualified under the J Treaty. But that's totally incorrect. Why I say that's incorrect? Because nowhere in Article 3 of the J Treaty specify just one type of indigenous Indian tribe that have the rights to cross the border. It didn't say the Canadian Indians. It specified Indians on both sides of the border. So these are the things you have to pay attention to. And because when they revise these things, what they do is reconstruct and remove the original intent of these instruments, which is to protect your rights as an indigenous or aboriginal Indian as far as pre-colonial ways or your pre-colonial customs, as far as the right to not be taxed. Because pre-colonial mean you have the right not to be taxed, because you're already here when before colonialism, so your bloodline was already in the Americas. Now once you understand these things, you realize that you have full rights and full protections via treaties and international charters and all these things. So, these are the things we talk about, man. And we try to, remind people about all the time. So, I will try. Yeah, but you have to know that they're not gonna tell you that, You have to enforce it. So basically, if Article 3 specify that Indians have the right to cross on both sides of the border, and then them go and revise it in their own way so it suits their narrative, then of course that's complete racism and what you call it now, eugenesis. That's another way of identity theft as well. So we have to know these instruments and enforce it. We have to stand on these things, because the law has been written years upon years, and we just don't embrace it. And this is why they get away with everything that they're doing over the years, and it become the norm, because we are not enforcing documents that's already there. So our instruments that's there to protect our rights as a people. So I actually encourage the subscribers here that know they're indigenous people, or Aboriginal people, or West Indian people, or North American Indians. It's all pretty much the same. If you ask me, yes, we have different type of customs. We have different way we approach life. We have different way we do things, because it's a multi-ethnic pool. It's a multi-ethnic pool as far as when you say Indian, indigenous. Indian is a cover term to describe the original inhabitants of these lands. So multi-ethnicities here, different phenotypes are here, like how you have it in all the other regions of the earth. So never get carried away in these pseudo things. But it was good kicking it with you guys for now and stuff. But I try to do some more of these lives every now and then when I have the time. But I've been really busy lately, and I've been trying to get certain things on board and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be putting out more material and stuff for you guys, so you can go do your own research and stuff. But yeah, man, as far as everything, please study, please be aware, please stand on your rights. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. Don't let nobody mislead you. You must know for yourself. You have your own family lineage, you have your own genealogy. Stick to that. Don't let nobody walk you down the road blind and they don't know it for themselves. Very dangerous. And when you get in a jam up and you get in those certain situations, no one is there to help you. No one is there to rescue you. So I encourage you all to just go and do your own research. They did a lot of switch up and tampering with everything. So everything you see right now before is all a lie, a misnomer. So you have to stand on your genealogy, your bloodline, all of that, and stay solid. But to all the tribal members of American Arawaks Nation, just know that I am doing my best so we can have a peaceful dialogue or peaceful conversations or peaceful approach to everything as far as when it lawful or legalities, but I keep you all up to date as far as where that's concerned and all of that. But yeah, just go ahead and go on Amazon and don't forget to get your copy of Just Tools of a Free Man Volume 1 and 2, and that will definitely break down and give you a concept of how it's like a deconstruction of the commercial construct, So yeah, go ahead and get your copy, alright, and each one teach one, and don't be afraid to share the knowledge with everybody else, alright. So thank you very much, peace out, have a good one.